So you want to learn how to play the piano? Well, you've come to the right place. My goal is to get you playing music right now and give you all the information that you need to continue the learning journey. So let's get started. All right, first things first, we're starting from the beginning. We need to learn how to navigate the keyboard. Notice how we've got groupings of 2 black keys and 3 black keys. And that pattern just kind of continues and continues and continues and continues. So that's gonna help us to know where we are and where we're going. So I want you to take your peace sign fingers and place them on the group of 2 black keys nearest the center of your keyboard. So here we are. I'm gonna take my pointer finger, I'm just gonna slide it down, and this takes us to a very important note for new piano players. This is C. This is where we start a lot of what we're gonna be doing. So C, now this is how the musical alphabet goes. We're just gonna move up from C. After C we have D, and then after D we have E, and then you can guess F, and then G, but that's where things stop because the musical alphabet stops at G and goes to A, so there's no H. So if this is G, this is A, and this is B, and then this is the magic. Look at this. We're back to a group of 2, and it's C, and then that just repeats. D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Now that brings me to a second point, landmark notes on the keyboard. This is gonna make navigating the keyboard so much easier for you. So if you play this grouping of 2 black keys and slide down, you know that you have C. So C kind of becomes a landmark that's easy to locate because of that group of 2 black keys. So take your right hand thumb, so we call this our 1 finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and find a C nearest the middle of your piano and just play it. Now see how quickly you can move to the next C above that. So you look for the group of 2 and you place your thumb on C. Look for the group of 2, place your thumb on C. That's a great way to get comfortable moving around. A second landmark note that I find really, really helpful is F. So if you look for the group of 3 black keys, the bottom of that is F, right? C, D, E, F. So if you just find all the Fs, you can play them with any finger you like. It's a great way to just get comfortable with the layout of your instrument. All right, so that's all great, but let's actually get our fingers playing some of these keys. So let's take your right hand, take your thumb, place it on middle C, that's the C nearest the center of your keyboard, and I want you to relax your fingers so that each of them gets its own key. And this is easier said than done as a new piano player because our fingers can get like, where do I go? So just relax your hand, place your thumb on C, and set your fingers up, 1 on each key. Now notice how I'm not here. My hand is not flat. I'm not crunched up here. My wrist isn't low. My wrist is just slightly above, right? There's a little bit of space. There's some buoyancy. Like there's like a little bubble under my hand that I don't want to pop. So I keep some buoyancy in my wrist, and then my fingers naturally get this nice little curve in them. So now I'm set up to just push down with my thumb. Try this with me. Whoa. And then release. And then the next one is with your second finger, 1, 2, press and release. And this might not be clean at first. You might find that you bump into some other keys and 2 fingers wanna work at the same time, that's okay. And then you walk your way back down. And I call this a 5-note scale. And it's kind of like the first scale that you should play as a piano player because it kind of helps you to gain control in your fingers. So let's do that again. So your thumb goes on C, C, D, E, F, G, back down, F, E, D, and I'm gonna keep going just like this. And you can think about finger numbers, so I'm on 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or note names, D, E, F, G, and then your alphabet backwards, the F, E, D, C, and that's where you start. Like you want to spend enough time there that your hand can do that without you feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so challenging. And it takes a little bit of time. And then once that's comfortable, you take your left hand, and our fingers get numbered the same way. So thumb is 1, baby finger is 5. And you'll want to place your baby finger of your left hand on the C below middle C. So you find that group of 2, get your 5 finger placed, and then each finger gets a key. And it's exactly the same thing. It's getting used to playing 1 finger at a time up and down that 5-note scale really smoothly and fluidly, just like that. This is where you start. And you have to remember to breathe, and you have to remember to smile, and you want to check in that your shoulders aren't like this and that you're not like hunched over your hand trying to watch what you're doing. We're working toward this feeling relaxed and easy. And it might take a few practices. That's what it's all about, but eventually you'll be able to do this 2 hands at the same time. And that's sort of your next little target and goal, is being able to play this 5-note scale, both hands at the same time, and have a sense of ease about it. Not that it needs to be easy, but you should be able to get through it and be like, oh, I was playing both of the notes at the same time. My volume was pretty consistent. My fingers weren't super tight and tense. My posture was good. And I could maybe even go a little faster next time. So work that into your practice routine. We call that the 5-note C scale. You want to do it with your right hand and your left hand, and eventually hands together. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier. It's going to wake up your fingers, it's going to strengthen them, and it's going to help you to build good presence and posture on the keyboard. All right, the next step is an actual scale. And you can do it. Even if this is the first time you've ever played the piano, I'm gonna walk you through it, and then I'm gonna show you why scales are so important. They lead to all kinds of fun things, I promise. So we're gonna start with our right hand again, because this tends to be our dominant hand, and then we're gonna place our 1 finger or our thumb on that middle C again. And we're gonna play 1 note at a time, but we're gonna go from C all the way up to the next C and back down again. So it's gonna sound like this. Just like that. But we only have 5 fingers and there are 8 keys to play. So what are we gonna do? We have to use some fancy finger work. So this is another great opportunity to build control in your fingers, which you need as a new piano player. So you start with your 1 finger, and then you play your 2, and then you play your 3, and you just pause there. Keep contact with this 3rd note, and I want you to pretend like maybe there's like a little mini soccer ball on this key, and your thumb's gonna come underneath and push it off. And so you're gonna play the next key with your thumb. Now keep that in contact and kind of uncurl your fingers, move them over, and look at this. Every finger has a key now, and you just have to continue to move them all the way up the scale. Easier said than done, which is why we practice. It's not about perfection, it's about practice. And that's one of the reasons we have those chapter markers on this video, so you can come back to the sections and practice along with me. So let's try this together now. So really slowly, I'll say the finger numbers. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, thumb comes under, 1, uncurl, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hang out there, take a breath. We're gonna head back down. So 4 finger, 3, 2, 1, and then we've run out of fingers. Oh no, 3rd finger comes up and over to play this E. Reset your fingers, D and C. So that was the C scale. You wanna get really comfortable with just the right hand. Let's go through how we would play that with our left hand. So 5 finger goes to low C, and you're gonna use up every single finger first. When we run out, then our 3rd finger comes up and over like that. So we'll go slowly together, starting on C, C, D, E, F, G, and now, oh no, we're out. 3rd finger comes up and over, A. Now we've got 2 fingers left. We can go B and C. Hang out there, breathe. Now we're going to play our 2 finger, our 3 finger. This is where we stop. 3 is the magic number. Thumb comes under, plays the next key, our hand resets, and we just walk our way back down to the end. So let's do that one more time, because this is new. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up and over with the 3rd finger, and then 2, 1. And then we go back down. 2, 3, pause, thumb comes under, 1, reset, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's your C scale. All right, we've got a real song here, and I'm gonna teach you how to interpret this music that you see. So the first thing we're looking at is this symbol right here. That's called a treble clef, and it usually indicates to play with our right hand. So we're gonna play the notes with our right hand. And all of these little dots and circles with the lines, those are the notes. I'll tell you what they mean in a moment. But I also wanted to bring your attention to something else before we start playing, and that's this time signature. So time signature gives us context for the rhythm of the song, how long to hold each note, because this is really important. That's what makes the music. So if you notice, we've got these lines that sort of separate our notes. These are called bar lines, and in between them we would call this like a measure, this stuff here, or a bar of music. Now, in each of these, this is what the time signature tells us, we have 4 beats. And a beat is based on a quarter note. Now, these things, these are quarter notes. Okay, so we've got that information. We kind of put it in the back of our minds for a moment. Let's figure out what keys to play based on what these circles and lines are showing us. If you ever took music in like high school, or you took a band class, you had piano lessons as a kid, in the back of your mind, you might remember these acronyms. We can spell the word face in the spaces here, F-A-C-E, and that's like a quick cheat sheet to what the notes are. So we can tell by this that this first note is a C. Okay, this is good. We're learning something. We're gonna cheat the system a little bit. And instead of having to go like, okay, well then what's the next acronym? How do we figure it out? We're just going to follow the direction the notes are moving. So look, from C we're going down. C is a space note, and this next one is a line note. It's going down to the next possible note. So this is B. And then we're going down again, that's A, and down again to G, and down again. Do you see this? We're just moving in steps, down, down, down. And then things turn around. When we get to F, we're moving up in steps, and you can tell because it's always going from the space to the line to the space, and then whoa, wait a minute, watch out. We've got a space note and a space note, so we've skipped the line. So when you're playing, you're gonna pay attention to that. And let's actually play this on the piano because it's gonna really make sense. So if we start at the beginning, that first C, we're gonna use our baby finger and play the C above middle C. That's the C that this is referring to. And then we're just gonna step our fingers down, 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 and now it's going up, so move up. And when we get here, this is A, this is where we've got that skipped note, and we're going all the way up to C, which is the first note we played. And now you've just played 2 bars of music, and you can notice that we're changing the direction. We're going down again, and down, and down. We've run out of fingers, so we'll just cross over. You just read some music. It doesn't have to be as complicated as being like, I gotta memorize what all of these are. You need to memorize what some of them are so you know where you actually are, but you can use the distance between the notes to kind of help you guesstimate your way through music. It's cheating, but it's not. You'll notice now we have some new things above the music. These are called chords. Now you see an A with a little tiny M beside it. Ignore the M for now. All I want you to worry about is your left hand is gonna play A. Your right hand is gonna play the melody that you've just learned to read. Now the chord changes. So you now see a D, and we're gonna move our left hand to D. Now it changes to G, so let's go to G. And now it says C. You've just created a left hand accompaniment without having to read any extra notes. This is where it gets so exciting. Now these are chords, and a chord actually has more than one note. So you're ready for this. I want you to take your baby finger, and I want you to place it on A, and then I want you to take your thumb, and I want you to place it on E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're 5 apart. And then we're gonna play it a couple times, just to get used to that feeling. Then I want you to take that whole party, and your 5 finger is gonna take you over to D, and then again, 5 notes apart. Now you take your 5 finger and you go all the way up to G, and you're gonna play G, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D. And then finally, 5 finger takes you all the way down to C, and you're gonna play C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G. So that was just the practice. You don't have to play all of these repetitions of it. You can just hold the keys down. So I want you to try that with me. 5 finger on A, thumb on E. So your right hand's gonna play. Now we move all the way down to the D. You can do it. And then the party goes up to the G. And then 5 finger takes you down to C. Real music. And that's really just the beginning. That's taking notes that you're reading, chords that you're building, and bringing that together so that you can kind of create your own version of the songs that you love. Now inside Piano, we have over 1,000 songs. They all have chord names above them, and you can set it up so that you just see the melody and the chord names. And we've gone ahead and created a playlist of the best songs for beginners to start learning just for you. So if you want to access that, you can grab a free 7-day trial below this video. Just click the link and you can go have some fun with playing real songs, because now you know all the skills you need to be able to do that. So I'm so excited for you. This really is just the beginning of the journey. Comment below, introduce yourself, let me know a little bit about your goals at the piano, and I can't wait to meet you. So happy playing, and we'll see you around.